Why is it so hard to resist a sale? Well, in no small part, this is because retailers are using a few sneaky tactics that exploit basic psychological principles to get you to loosen your purse strings.
Shut up and take my money!
In this video, I'll tell you about the 3 tactics that retailers most readily exploit and would probably rather you didn't know about, and also give you some information on how you can avoid falling prey to them. Have you ever noticed how sales often feature taglines such as "Act fast, these offers won't last" or "Limited time only"? This isn't a coincidence. Retailers are taking advantage of a principle that psychologists refer to as regret aversion. Regret aversion is in effect every time we make a decision in order to avoid regretting an alternative decision at some point in the future. In the context of a sale, you buy something now because you're concerned that if you don't buy it, you'll regret missing out on the deal later on. In specifying a limited duration for price reductions, retailers create a sense of urgency, which triggers our fear of missing out. However, before you rush out to buy that limited time only offer, you should be aware that there is research from psychology that suggests that we tend to overestimate the likelihood and magnitude of feelings of regret. So if you do elect not to pick up that sale ends soon bargain, you can rest assured that it's unlikely you'll be kicking yourself for that long, if at all. You've probably noticed that slogans such as "last few left" or "limited stock" are also very common in sales. Once again, this isn't a coincidence. This time, those pesky retailers are taking advantage of something that psychologists and economists refer to as the scarcity effect. This refers to the fact that when we perceive something to be in limited supply, we tend to view that thing as being more exclusive and more valuable. In the context of a sale, limiting the number of normally abundant products available at a reduced price makes those products seem more appealing to you, and also puts you in direct competition with other buyers in order to avoid missing out on a bargain. You only need to look at the annual news footage of people scrambling to be the first through the department store doors at a New Year's sale to see how potent the scarcity effect is. But before you gear up to take on the sales crowds, you might want to reframe the way you question and appraise the value of the thing that you're thinking of buying. Research suggests that if you appraise your situation in terms of a loss, in other words, you ask yourself, what am I going to miss out on if I don't buy this sale item? Then you're much more likely to anticipate regretting not making the purchase. However, if you reappraise your situation in terms of gain, in other words, you ask yourself, what's the benefit to me of resisting this sale item? Then you're much less likely to anticipate regretting not making the purchase, which makes the whole once it's gone sale tactic much less compelling. Let it go. It probably wasn't that good of a deal anyway. Which brings us nicely on to tactic number 3. Have you ever noticed how sales tickets almost invariably start with the original price for the product before displaying the sale price? Once again, those pesky retailers know exactly what they're doing. Here, they're exploiting something that psychologists call the anchoring effect. This refers to our tendency to allow an initial piece of information to influence our subsequent judgments way too heavily. In the context of a sale, the initial piece of information is the original asking price for the product concerned. Let's say £500, for example. This anchors your judgment of what that product is worth at an artificially high level. So if the item is now on sale for £250 as opposed to the original sticker price of £500, then you conclude that you're getting the item for 50% less than what it's worth. Of course, at some level you know you're not, but still...
It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
Even when you know about the anchoring effect, the tactic of putting the original price for the item on the sales ticket followed by the sales price can still be very compelling. Research suggests that the way to defeat the anchoring effect is to actively think of reasons why the anchor is inappropriate. For example, you might remind yourself that the retailer still has to make a profit even in the sales period. So the actual value of the product is likely to be much closer to the sales price than the original price, making it much less of a bargain than you originally thought. So there you have it, the psychology behind the 3 tactics that retailers most frequently exploit during the sales to get you to part with your hard-earned money, and a few evidence-based things you can do to resist them. If you found this video interesting, then please do like and subscribe, because something tells me I won't be getting any offers of sponsorship from any retailers in the near future. See you in the next video.